The penny is going the way of the dodo bird. They say they are too expensive to make and they're pretty much useless. Well, I beg to differ. A 10 gauge penny load. Here we go. Holy cow! Fist with a roll of pennies in it. 10 gauge penny load that are all soldered together. 2-bore blunderbuss loaded up with 72 pennies. I'm sure this thing is gonna kick the absolute snot out of me. What's up, everybody? My name is Scott and you're watching Kentucky Ballistics, and I got some sad news for you today. The penny is going the way of the dodo bird. They say they are too expensive to make and they're pretty much useless. Well, I beg to differ. I think pennies are very useful, especially when it comes to self-defense. So today I have a Ballistic Dummy Lab zombie torso and I have a buttload of pennies, and we're gonna explore all the many ways that you can defend yourself with pennies. Let's get set up and get started. Let me tell you about today's sponsor, War Thunder. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, and it's now available for free on PC, consoles, and mobile devices. Take command of over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships of 10 major nations, ranging from biplanes and armored cars of the 1920s to the fighter jets and main battle tanks of today. Immerse yourself in the intense combat of War Thunder, where incredible detailed vehicles, realistic graphics, and authentic sound effects place you right at the helm of the most powerful war machines of all time. Join a worldwide community of over 95 million players in epic PvP battles today and delve into the breathtaking experience that is War Thunder. With an unmatched wealth of high-quality content to discover, there's simply no game better suited for fans of military history. One of my favorite features about War Thunder is the impressive damage X-ray view. If your vehicle or an enemy is destroyed, War Thunder shows you exactly what happened. In X-ray view, you'll see precisely where the shell penetrated, which components were affected, and what ultimately led to the destruction of the vehicle. Play War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile devices now using my link in the pinned comment or the video description. New and returning players on PC and consoles that have not played in the last 6 months will also receive a massive bonus pack. That includes multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive vehicle decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account. This is only available for a limited time, so be quick. Again, a big thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, first, we're just gonna throw some pennies at Mr. Zombie and see what that does. All right, here we go. Okay, I don't really see much damage. I definitely think that probably would have stung a little bit, but no real damage. So now I say we throw some more pennies at him, but we'll just keep them in the roll this time. I'm also not very accurate when it comes to throwing, so I'm gonna get really close this time. Here we go. Oh! Okay, I think that definitely would have hurt. I've got a little slit right there on his forehead. So I would say getting hit with a roll of pennies still in the roll, that would hurt quite a bit. We're gonna go from throwing pennies to punching with pennies. I've always heard the tall tale that if you hold a roll of coins in your hand, it makes your fist heavier and therefore you deliver more damage. So we are going to punch Mr. Zombie in the ribs with a fist and then a fist with a roll of pennies in it and see if we can tell a difference. Okay, let's give him like a 50% punch. Here we go. Oh, I broke his ribs. Oops.
These hands weren't meant to create, they only destroy!
So, those snapped. So I don't really know how we're going to be able to tell if I'm hitting harder with the pennies, because I already accidentally broke his ribs. let's hit him anyways. All right, now I have a roll of pennies in my hand. I'm gonna grip those real tight. I guess I'm just gonna aim more for the back ribs then. Here we go. Well, I would say I felt like I had a little bit of a heavier mitt when I hit him that time, but I don't really know if there's any way to tell a difference from just hitting this zombie. Plus, we broke his ribs on the first punch, so moving on. Up next on penny self-defense is gonna be a tube sock with 150 pennies in it. I have always wanted to do this. I'm very curious to see what kind of damage we do to Mr. Zombie here. So this side is still pretty good, so I'm gonna aim for these ribs, and then I'm gonna smack him in the face. Here we go. Ribs first. Ow, it bounced back and hit me. That hurt, just the ricochet hurt, so I can't imagine what he felt. Well, we didn't break anything, but I'm sure that did not feel good. Now let's give him one to the face. Here we go. Oh! Oh, that would definitely not feel very good. Now you have to take into consideration this guy has already been hit with a bolt that flew out of a 308. But I'm pretty sure that broke his jaw that time when he got hit with the pennies. Now do take into consideration his jaw was probably already a little weakened, but that would definitely hurt. Pennies in a tube sock, not bad. So far, I am actually pretty impressed with these pennies, but before we move on to things that involve gunpowder, we're gonna see what kind of damage we can do with a slingshot. Okay, first, I'm just gonna aim for Mr. Zombie's chest. Oh! I don't see anything. Didn't do much of anything. Let's get a little closer. Hope this doesn't come back and hit me in the eyeball. No, it would definitely sting. I'll give you that, but doesn't look like it's gonna do much damage. I am gonna go ahead and throw one at his dome though. Didn't do much of anything, but again, I definitely would not want to be hit with that. I'm sure it would sting. Okay, now it's time to move on to firearms. This is a single shot, break action, 10 gauge shotgun, and this is a 10 gauge penny load. This thing is full of pennies, and before we shoot Mr. Zombie, we're gonna take a shot at this armored truck and see what kind of spread we're getting. Hopefully they don't bounce off the truck. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. Them pennies be kicking. I'm not really sure where those pennies hit. Maybe we need something that's a little more fresh. Let's try again. Okay, this blue truck here still has most of its paint. So let's try again shooting it in. Here we go. Wow, okay. So I'm pretty sure that all of those pennies somehow stayed together and just punched a hole through this truck. And if you look back here in the tailgate, there are pennies. You've got all kinds of pennies back here. Look at that. That thing is messed up. So they all stayed together to go through the truck, and then once they went through the truck, they just spread like penny buckshot. Let's go shoot the zombie. So now I have another 10 gauge loose penny round. We're gonna see what happens to Mr. Zombie. I don't think it's gonna be pretty. Okie dokie, here we go. Holy cow! Oh, wow. Dude. Blew through him. It looks like most of those pennies stayed together. I think you had a few stragglers because we got 2 marks right here. But that right there is pretty impressive. I really was not expecting this today. So the 10 gauge loose penny round was pretty effective to say the least. Up next, I have another 10 gauge penny load, but all the pennies are glued together. All right, I bet this is gonna go right through him. Here we go. Oh! Did I hit the same hole? Yeah, I did. I managed to hit him in the exact same spot. And it continued on into the puddle of water. We hit him right here in the front, right next to it, I guess. And then we blew through the back again. So we have used 10 gauge loose penny loads, a 10 gauge glued penny load, and now I have a 10 gauge penny load with pennies that are all soldered together. And to avoid me hitting him in the same spot a third time, I'm gonna take a knee and I'm gonna aim for his belly. Okie dokie. Here we go. Oh! Oh my gosh! That was absolutely disgusting. I don't think I've ever seen a zombie react like that. Oh, that was a perfect hole. And then he kind of turned into a fountain. I really want to find those pennies. It looks like we hit the dirt right here. So, out. It's right there. There. Check that out. Oh, that is gnarly. Talk about a big nasty slug. That penetrated better than a regular slug would have. I am actually really impressed right now with these pennies as shotgun loads. The 10 gauge penny loads were pretty impressive, but we can only fit so many pennies in a 10 gauge shotgun. So up next, we're gonna use my 2-bore blunderbuss, the Mule. This thing right now is loaded up with 72 pennies. I am very excited to see what happens when we blast this zombie. I'm sure this thing is gonna kick the absolute snot out of me. Let's ride the lightning. Oh, here we go. Let's go check that out. Oh, okay, so we did manage to hit him with some of those pennies. We've got some marks here, here, but right there you can actually see one of them slid into him. Oh, look at that. That is stuck in his belly. Oh my goodness. Okay, on that one too. This one's like dug into him. Look at this, right? Oh, I'm gonna try and pull this out of here. Come on, come on. Ah! Ah! I got it! Oh, and there is one right here in his neck. Look at that. I feel that one. I know how that one feels. I would say that the 10 gauge loads were actually more effective than the blunderbuss load because they're loosely packed in this, but in the 10 gauge, they were in a tight little package and stayed together. But this next round is a little more tightly packed. Okay, now the 2-bore blunderbuss is loaded up with a bunch of pennies again, but this time they have a cup to support them and there's a little bit of glue in there. Okay, let's hit him again. Oh. I hit him, but I don't know if we did much damage. So it doesn't seem the cup or glue helped much when it came to keeping the pennies together in the blunderbuss. They all just kind of bounced off of him. But that's okay because this next one is definitely gonna stay together, I can guarantee it. Our final round in the 2-bore blunderbuss is going to be a 2-bore penny wax slug. I feel like this is just gonna act like a giant torpedo. All right, 2-bore penny wax slug. Here we go. Golly! Wow, that was not playing around. That kicked the absolute snot out of me. Ooh. Yeah, let me go set this down and we'll take a look.
A few moments later.
So I reviewed the slow-mo footage and it looks like the wax 2-bore penny slug hit him kind of long ways, but still managed to make it all the way through him, because in the slow-mo, it looks like his back turns into a change dispenser. I would say that that wax slug was pretty effective, but all in all, I think the pennies have been more effective out of the 10 gauge. We still have some good real estate right here, so for our final shot, I say we hit him point blank in the face with pennies from the 10 gauge. And this final shot is brought to you by SDI. And if you're looking to get your start in firearms technology, be sure and check them out. There's a link in the description down below. A penny for your thoughts. Oh, 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 that was quite explosive. I think I could argue right now that 10 gauge penny loads are more effective than anything I've ever shot out of a 10 gauge. And the next time I hear someone say a penny for your thoughts, that's all I'm going to be able to think of. So I learned a lot about pennies today. They may not be worth much when it comes to currency anymore, but they're actually pretty useful in other ways. What was your favorite penny self-defense technique or load? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure and give it a like. And if you're not subscribed to Kentucky Ballistics, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Again, a big thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to play it for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile devices now using my link in the video description or the pinned comment. New and returning players that have not played in the last 6 months will also receive a massive bonus pack across PC and consoles that include multiple premium vehicles and other goodies. It's available for a limited time only, so be sure not to miss out. Also, be sure to check me out on all other social media platforms. Links to those can be found in the description down below, along with a link to KentuckyBallistics.com in case you're a Kentucky shirt. And as always, my name is Scott. Thank you so much for watching Kentucky Ballistics. I'll see you next time.